Mr. Hanky, the Christmas fool. He loves you. If you look at my shorts, you'll find the video that tells you the story of Mr. Hanky. I have so many videos now, so many short videos. Thank you, TikTok. Welcome to Eddie's Fun House. It's 10 o'clock. Really? It's 4:54 here. You're in bed? Saw we? That's quite a time difference. Like I said, it's like 4:54. Welcome to Ed's Rectory. I have quite a problem that I have unforeseen results to an action. Because we were having a cat that was causing mischief and problems. Eddie's Funhouse will one day be as popular as Mary Kay. That's what I need. I need you to promote. Make some little videos. Make some videos with those things, those things you say when you arrive here at Eddie's Funhouse. You'd be good at that. You've got the energy for it. Eddie's Funhouse will one day be as popular as Mary Kay. Balochistan got independence from Pakistan. Well, that's good. It's nice to have independence. BALO. Balochistan. Is that how you say it? Balochistan. Promote your channel and get a car wrap on your car, a car wrap. I believe in Eddie's Funhouse. You believe in it. Balochistan. Okay. B-A Balochistan is how you say. Balochistan. Balochistan. Thank you for clarifying that. Countries we don't hear much about because they don't have the press. They don't have the press that other countries get. I'm going to have to learn Mr. Hanky, the Mr. Hanky song. I'm going to have to listen to that more and more so I can rehearse it. And then there's if you can't say it, you can play it. Thank you for accepting me being. I was always a loner, a rebel, kind of like the rebel without a cause. Who was that? James Dean? You're like James Dean. And got drunk off Pepsi. Welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. It seems like I'm being punished for my kindness. Pull up a seat. Eddie's got a story to tell. About a cat that was attacking our hummingbird feeder. Over and over and over. And it got to the point where we said, I got to do something about this cat. He keeps attacking our hummingbird feeder. It had no collar, and it was neutered. So that's all the marks of a stray cat. That's all the marks of a feral cat. I'm enjoying. Yes, you are enjoying Eddie's Funhouse. Well, okay. Where was I? Oh yes, I had to do something about this cat. It kept knocking our hummingbird feeder off of its stand and busting it. Well, it busted a little bit of it. It's still a hummingbird feeder, but it's a little busted. And I have proof. I have video of I've recorded this cat coming onto our property and attacking the hummingbird feeder. And I thought, well, I can feed this cat. I can feed this feral cat. And feed it I did. It would show up in the mornings, like in the videos you've seen. And I would pet it and feed it and love it. And it still kept attacking the hummingbird feeder, knocking it off. Knocking it off 2 times in a week, I think. So I said, I got to do something about this cat. So I took it in my car. And I was thinking just take it to the park and let it run and get found by somebody. But no, I wanted to be more precise. You know, I wanted to make sure this cat found a home. So I took it to Food Depot, in front of Food Depot. And I was going to say, hey, you want a cat? I have a cat free to a good owner. I open up my door on the driver's side, and the cat runs out. What to do now? The cat ran out. And I thought it ran under my car. So I backed out slowly, because I said there's no way I'm going to recapture this cat. Because I think I lost its trust. And so I started talking to these 2 Mormon girls, and they then said that it's good luck finding an owner for the cat. I'm telling a story here, Mikey D. Oh, you make me angry sometimes. So hold on. Where was I? Oh yes, these 2 Mormon girls. I was talking to them for a while, and explained to them that I wanted to find a home for this cat. And I thought it, again, ran under my car. Couldn't see under my car. So I slowly pulled out of the parking space. And I noticed the cat was under the car next to me. It's like, good luck trying to catch that cat again. So I just left it. I thought, well, it's a cat that's not afraid of humans. Maybe the problem will take care of itself. And then I come home, and I think the next day, I hear the neighbors, not the neighbors next to me, but the neighbors next to the ones next to me, yelling for a cat. I mean, all out. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. I said, what does your cat look like? Well, it's an orange and white cat. Looks like Garfield. It doesn't look like Garfield. It looks more like Tigger. That's why I called it Tigger. They call it Ollie. They called it Ollie. Okay. And so the damage was already done. I didn't know that it belonged to somebody. It had no collar. It had no nards. So I figured, this is a feral cat. I'm going to relocate it because it's becoming a problem. And so then they show me a picture of the cat, and I go, that's the cat. Oops. It's like, how in the hell was I supposed to know that this cat belonged to somebody? And they were really attached to this cat. I mean, emotional about the cat. And I said, well, maybe somebody took it to Food Depot. I didn't want to be the guy who took their cat and tried to find a home for it. And so it went from bad to worse. So I was lying. I mean, as any smart man would do. I didn't want to be the guy who took their cat to Food Depot to find it a home. Because I had no clue that it belonged to anybody. So now these people show up to my door twice on different days asking about the cat, suspecting that I knew something about the cat. And see, you never tell on yourself. I was thinking there's cameras around here. I know the neighbors have cameras. I don't know where they are. I have a rough idea of where they are, but I don't know where they're pointing. So the last thing I wanted was them to have footage of me putting the cat taking the cat into my. He came willingly. Well, I reached down, I scooped him up, and I took him into the car. I didn't have a cage or a carrier or anything like that. I just scooped him up into my car. And I thought, this is a nice thing to do for this feral cat. Try to find it a home. And so now, I guess they suspect that I killed the cat or did something bad to the cat. And so, yes. So I had to tell the police. I had to tell the police, they said, oh, we can tell him if he shows up at your door again, it's criminal trespassing. Okay. Because he came twice to our door with his wife, this guy. And and he doesn't seem to be all there. If you met him, you'd understand what I mean. And he asked me if I would tell him my YouTube channel. I said no, I'm not going to tell you my YouTube channel because then it's very incriminating, you know. Because I did an investigation. I was doing an investigation and I found that it was the cat. The investigation led to the cat attacking our hummingbird feeder and killing some of the hummingbirds. There's little feathers of hummingbirds on the feeder. Watch my older shorts, last year and this year's. And I got video. The cat would wait for me. You swim through the window. So anyway, that's my story. And I guess it'll be unfolding. I had to have the police tell the guy to stay away from my house and stop asking about the cat. So I came to his door and I said, I'm the one who took your cat. I took this cat I thought was a feral cat to find a home for it because I thought nobody was taking care of this cat. So now calls me a lying SOB and got really mad, poked his finger in my face. I said, dude, if you come any closer, I'm a bit taller than he is and I'm a bit faster than he is. And so I was sizing him up because what can I do? I come up to his steps. I stand on his platform in front of his door, and I said, look, here's the cat. He's showing up in my yard, the next yard over, to eat my hummingbirds. And I wasn't angry. I was just explaining to him this is what happened. You know, I scooped the cat into my car. I took him to Food Depot, and so there it is, unforeseen, totally unforeseen, this dilemma. So I reported to the manager. So I guess I'll be talking to the manager tomorrow about this man's behavior. It's like, first of all, I said the cat had no collar. You know, it didn't sink in. The cat had no collar, had no nards. So I thought, feral cat, got to get rid of this feral cat. Got to relocate it so it doesn't attack the hummingbird feeder again and kill the hummingbirds. I put a lot of care into that hummingbird feeder. So let me read this paragraph from Mr. Mike D. I consider you a dear friend. And it's got a little deer emoji. And a dear friend, and want to your friendship forever and ever and ever. I hope we can one day talk on the phone and be friends. My older brother and dad never liked you. Well, you know what? Stop thinking about that. Neville Goddard said, what you focus on increases. So don't focus on who doesn't like you, because more people will not like you. I've noticed that. Our thoughts are very powerful. Whenever you're going through a tough situation or turbulence, stop thinking, because it's only manifestations of what you've been thinking. Everything in your reality, it's all manifestations of what you've been thinking about. And it's true. I found that to be true. Whatever you're thinking about, don't look at your circumstances. Your circumstances are only manifestations of what you've been thinking about. So stop thinking, and it flatlines. You want to flatline your reality by not thinking. And you can do that just by breathing in and counting to 4, breathing out, counting to 4, and your thoughts stop. And then, once your mind is clear, start thinking about the best possible outcome. This is true. I've noticed this in my life. Bro, I had a hummingbird breakfast burrito once. Amazing! You know what? It must be really good, because something about those hummingbirds. The cat, no matter how much I fed it, it wanted those hummingbirds. And there must be a certain flavor to those hummingbirds. Maybe because they have tiny feathers. They can't scream. They can't peck. All they could do is hover. They can hover, and they're pretty quick. And the cat would get him while they were sitting on the feeder. He would wait, and I have video of this. If you scroll back far enough to last year, you'll see the cat sitting there and waiting for the hummingbirds to come by. I haven't thought about anything in years. Yes, you're doing wonderful. And it's weird how our thoughts are so powerful. Our thoughts are like, that's the first Hermetic principle. The first Hermetic principle is the all is mind, the universe is mental. Everything is a result of a thought. And it's like, everything's a result of a thought, yeah. The all is mind, the universe is mental. The law of mentalism, that's what it's called. It's the nectar, very sweet meat. That's right. It's already marinated. It's already in the meat. The cat has a sweet tooth. Hi, Eddie. Hello, Saber. You hardly stay. You don't stay very long. Saber. Saber the flavor. Saber the flavor. That's what you say before you're having a duel. Just pull out your saber. Say, saber the flavor, my enemy. Hello, Eddie. Welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. There we go. There's Eddie's confessional. Eddie's rectory. I relocated a cat that I didn't know belonged to somebody. How was I to know? There was no collar. You could have had it scanned for a chip, but then you don't know there's a chip until somebody tells you. Saber. Oh, there's a dot there. Saber is my wife. Okay. I don't let her online for long. Okay. That explains it. I know there's so many creepy things that happen online. There's never a shortage of creepiness. I'm not your wife. Stop talking to your Saber, to yourself, Saber. So I guess you know each other. You brought along a friend. I like that. I like when you bring along a friend. So yeah, there's a story behind Mr. Hanky. I don't know him. Okay. I'm so easily fooled. It seems I'm so easily fooled because I'm so trusting. I believe in humanity. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I believe in fairies. Do you believe in fairies? I believe in spooks. I don't love you back because because I don't know you. Okay. Who said love? I didn't say anything. Anyways. Hold on a second. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Everyone. He's got a little target with a dart in it. So, can we just have a normal conversation in public, Saber? Smash the like button. That's right. Hi, Ed. Hi, Jan. Saber, what's your name in real life? My name is Andrew, silly. You know that. I love these conversations. I don't. Someone's claiming to know Saber. Allegedly. I like how they use the word allegedly a lot. It's almost like gaslighting. Do you do, though? I just told you. Andrew! I just told you. That sounds like Austin Powers. You just told me. Oh, today is Sunday. I was telling my mom we survived another day in church. You're saying that because you think I'm pretty. I'm so pretty, oh so pretty. So pretty and witty and bright. Who's that little girl in the mirror there? West Side Story, that's what that song is from. What's my real name? I've always told you how beautiful you are. Now that sounds like a good husband. That sounds like a smart husband. Always tell your wife how beautiful she is. Because she keeps asking. What's my real name? You don't want to tell it online here. That would be a reveal. What's my real name in real life? Who's that pretty girl in the mirror there? Such a pretty face, such a pretty smile. I'm not going to put your name on the internet. That's a wise husband. See, it's all adding up. Do you even have a husband? How old are you? That's my middle name. Not, what's my middle name or last name? Danger's my middle name. Danger's my middle name. I've always wanted to dress like Austin Powers for Halloween. I don't know if they would remember Austin Powers. It's been a while. Or it's been a while. I was Dr. Evil one time. For Halloween, I was Dr. Evil. I'd have to shave everything to be Dr. Evil. There was a wig that came with the costume that didn't work well. What's my apartment number? Oh, don't say that. Don't give out that information. You'll have a Karen knocking at your door. You'll have somebody from the Homeowners Association. Have you seen those videos? That guy from the Homeowners Association? That guy should be locked up. Locked up and monitored. They always hit him with that powder cannon. Seen that? The guy from the Homeowners Association, he comes to the door to complain about something, and the resident hits him with the powder cannon. Sweetheart, I don't want strangers coming to our home. Good idea. Good idea. Have you seen those Ring doorbells? Those Ring doorbells, the video that gets caught on video. Ladies showing up to your house, thinking it's their house. Or people hiding around a corner while they hit your doorbell. Ding dong. I'd like to have a doorbell that sounds like Godzilla. Really loud. Or a tiger's roar. That would be funny. Somebody goes to just push the doorbell and a tiger's roar comes out. And then you can capture that on video. The response, the reaction to a tiger's roar. I mean, a thunderous roar. Have the speaker system to back it up. Or the Mr. Hanky song. We have a lot on video. You do? Hello, mother. Hello, father. Have you seen those videos? Hello, mother. Hello, father. She started getting tattoos. Tattoos are always a deal breaker for me. It's so refreshing to see somebody who doesn't have tattoos. It's so refreshing. That's what Ozzy Osbourne said. He said if you want to be original, don't get tattoos. If you want to be different, don't get tattoos. Thoughts on Cherry Gold Dust wanting to meet you in Sacramento, California. Hello, mother. She's always like this. Hello, mother. Yeah. I've seen some creepy stuff and funny stuff. Especially when people forget to set their emergency brake. There's a video I have of that. There's a lady that face plants on the way out to her SUV. I think it's an SUV. It's in my shorts if you check my... I'm near Sacramento as well. Let's make a party. Yeah, a party. I gotta get a flight out there. I live in Georgia. That's terrible. That's terrible. I live in Georgia now. I used to live in Sacramento. I lived in Carmichael, California, Sacramento County. Before that, I lived on Bell Street, Bell and Arden. I think there's a Subway there. Subway and a flower shop. Right behind there was my apartment buildings. You live in Modesto. I used to live in Sacramento also. Saber and I live Placer County. I remember that. Placer County. I remember Loyalton, Portola, Susanville, Quincy. Feather River College was in Quincy. We used to trek all the way out from Portola to Quincy, California. We would sit in the eating area. There was a balcony. It was bigger than a balcony. It was like a huge porch. We'd watch deer come out. Do you know what clampers? What are clampers? Am I saying that right? Red Hawk Casino and Thunder Valley Casino in Placer County. There was one on Greenback Lane. There was a casino on Greenback Lane next to Carl's Jr. Radio Shack used to be there. Remember Radio Shack? ECV. Anyways. I had the intention of eating jelly beans, but I'm talking too much. So I don't eat jelly beans while I'm talking most of the time. But I don't want to be rude. E-clamps Vitus. Radio Shack. Yes. You can build a robot pretty much. You can build your own special friend at Radio Shack. You can get magnets there. You can get little motors, little solar panels. What happened to Radio Shack? I think it's all online now. Oh, it's a brotherhood. Just curious if you knew about it. No, I haven't. There's a lot that I don't know. Turns out. People think I'm Google sometimes. I am able to answer a lot of questions. People ask me a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. But here I am. Yes, I remember Hagen Park. I used to always go to Hagen Park. They had ducks and geese and no homeless people there. I was surprised, no homeless people at Hagen Park. They had a choo-choo ride too. They had a fountain. No, it was a little waterfall. A little fake waterfall. Google Map me to my grocery store. To the grocery store. Yes. Google Maps. Remember Google Maps? Before there was GPS? Only certain people could get GPS. They went to the store and got their GPS before it was in our phones. I remember that you had to print out Google Maps. Turn here, turn here. Here it is. You're like Alexis, but Eddie. That's right, Eddie. What's your problem, Eddie? What's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? I still remember that from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. What band of man are you can summon fire without wood nor tin, without flint nor tinder? I am Tim. Notice the similarity between I am Steve. He used flint and steel. Eddie, turn on the harmonica. I can turn it on. Let me get this thing started. Look, I opened the little box. It comes in its own box. It's a turquoise box. Let's turn it on. Click. All right. Let's play some cowboy songs. You can almost see covered wagons. In my mind's eye, I see covered wagons making the steers, take them across the river. The steers? The steers. Steers are neutered bulls. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. They're bulls with no balls. You could go from bull to steer in just a snip. I love that song, The Wizard. Have you ever heard that song? Never talking, just keeps walking, spreading his magic. Misty morning, clouds in the sky, without warning, the wizard walks by. Casting his shadow, giving his sign, left all the people feeling so fine. Never talking, just keep walking, spreading his magic. I have to turn my head each time. Spreading his magic. Evil power disappears. Demons worry when the wizard is near. He turns tears into joy. Everyone's happy when the wizard walks by. My mom and I went to Dairy Queen after church. Dairy Queen! They have a really good burger. I call it the number one meal. It's just a heart attack. It's a heart attack stack. It's got bacon, it's got 2 patties, beef patties, and a whole lot of delicious additives. Yeah, you're just eating your future heart attack. What country do we live in? Oh my God. You never told me. I don't think I remember you telling me what country you live in. I remember having a lot of trouble saying saber because of the way I was reading it. I was really messing up. Oh, it's upside down. Me, what country do we live in? I I don't know. I don't remember you even telling me. All I remember was not being able to say your name correctly or your handle. Yeah, that's what stood out. Are you in the UK? Sometimes people from the UK they visit Eddie's Funhouse. Or I think yesterday somebody from Australia was here. Oh, you live in the US. Okay. You were saying you used to live in no, you live in California. Okay, so you do know each other. All right. We've gotten that far. Isn't that Bach? Tell me now. What apartment do we live at? What apartment do we live at? I don't remember it. I don't remember you telling me. Remember we suggested you not tell people where you live? What apartment? Wow. That's pretty specific. I think only the pizza delivery guy should be the only one who knows your apartment, what apartment you live in. Pizza delivery guy, and also Publishers Clearinghouse, if you ever win anything. I'm not putting that on social media. We can play fun games then I get home, when I get home. There we go. Fun games when I get home. Where do we work? I don't think we've gotten to that in depth. I don't think we are that in depth. We didn't have an interview. There's a lot I don't know about you too. About you too. Sunday, bloody Sunday. One man come and go in the name of love. Once more in the name of love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Everybody get your lighters out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sing along. We don't work at the same place. I work with people with intellectual disabilities. I see. But I don't want to put our people, our whole personal life. That's right. That's a good idea. You never know who's going to read your stuff. There's so much of my stuff that's surprisingly out there. I get terrified when I see what's out there about me, where I used to live. I mean, specific things. Exactly. I don't want you to know. I don't know you. Now, goodbye. Well, thank you for staying as long as you did. I can't know you. Can I know you? Can I know you? It's been 38 minutes. I've always wanted a radio show. I think I'd be a good radio personality. That'd be my whole show. I just do a YouTube live and just talk to people. Hi, this is Eddie. FUAM. We can't have fun without FU. WFU. Wouldn't that be funny? WFU AM. On the AM dial. But then so many people are on the FM. So it'd have to be WFU FM. WFU FM. We can't have fun without FM. There we go. Without FML. Family radio. I've been told I have a radio voice. I remember one time I was working at Kmart as a cashier, and a lady told me I have a radio voice. The tooth in your saber tooth. That's right. The tooth in your saber tooth. That's what we're all about. It's 30 degrees outside. Be sure to put a coat on and your mucklucks. Buffon. Bulbous Buffon. There's a funny story called Bulbous Buffon that Dr. Demento would play? Dr. Demento! I have that in one of my shorts. You click on the short that says galoshes. It's hilarious. Hilarious. The flavor in your... That's right. The flavor in your lifesaver. We're the flavor in your lifesaver. We can come up with a whole bunch of jingles like that. I think they're called jingles. Or punches. Or, I don't know, bullet points. The flavor in your lifesaver. The flavor in your saver. This is called the flavor saver. The kind that covers your mouth. You ever talk to somebody who has their mouth is covered with their mustache? All you see is their mustache moving, like Yosemite Sam. I hate that rabbit. I hate that rabbit. He was also like loathing. He loathed that rabbit. Bugs Bunny had a lot of enemies. He had, who was it? Daffy Duck. Everybody was he was always the antagonist. The antagonist in the show, in the scenario. The saber in your tooth tiger. That's right, we're the saber in your tooth tiger. How's it going, tiger? Do you know me? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. All I see are texts. I know you now. We're all one big family here. Eddie's Funhouse. Where the deer and the antelope play. It's 5:56 and 73 degrees outside. I'd like to have a thermometer that tells me. Have a thermometer outside that I can watch to tell people what the temperature is outside. Are you actually my husband? I think you'd know, unless you have a condition. There's dementia and Alzheimer's. Those are scary things to have. Dementia and Alzheimer's. There was a guy who had to have one of those deadbolts that lock from the inside and outside to keep his parents from wandering around. My brother was telling me a story about that. You're a matchmaker. Matchmaker, matchmaker, bring me a match. If you help me find my true love. Goodbye. You said goodbye a couple of minutes ago. I guess you're hooked. I'm your pusher man. I'll never be your true love. That's how it starts. I'll never be your true love. That's what Minnie Mouse said to Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry. That's how they say it in Canada. They say sorry. We say sorry. S-O-R-R-Y. Why can't we try? Come on, baby. Make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel so loose like a long-necked goose. Oh, baby, that's what I like. Ponytail hanging down. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, baby, you know what I like. That was the Big Bopper. Remember the Big Bopper? I remember hearing those songs, but that was back in the 50s. The 50s was before my time. Why can't we try? There were a lot of good songs in the 70s. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How could we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world. Wasn't that Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers? The universe led us here for a reason. We can ignore the voice of love, for we can get some pizza, or we can get some pizza. I like that. Oh my God, I think I like you too. I think I like you too. You know just what to say. Reunited cause we understood. Remember that song? Reunited. And then there was that sailing, take me away to where I'll always be. Those are that's time travel right there. That's right. Don't resist the voice of love. Eddie will play the harmonica at our wedding. There we go. I'll sing Ave Maria. Ave Maria. Wasn't that Step Brothers? Step Brothers. John C. Reilly gets up there and sings Ave Maria. Anyways, that was a good movie. Boats and hoes, boats and hoes. Gotta have me my boats and hoes. The Catalina wine mixer. Roseville. Roseville was wine country. I remember going out to Roseville one time. Good eye. Game on. Game on. Game on. There we go. I'm the matchmaker. I could use my radio voice. Here's Eddie the matchmaker. Matchmaker, matchmaker. Make me a match. Where we put two hearts together. We bring hearts together at Eddie's Funhouse. Brought to you by Certs. You never know when you're going to need to be face-to-face fresh. LOL, the song you were singing was in Step Brothers, and it was the Catalina Wine Mixer. There we go. Catalina Wine Mixer. That's right. Boats and holes. Boats and holes. Gotta have me my boats and holes. They played that in that meeting room. I think it was like an office meeting room. They were doing a presentation, and I think they embarrassed everybody. Did you touch my drum set? Let's make a set of bunk beds. That's a Christmas song. Sorry. Wait, where's my future wife? Wow, this guy is smooth. He's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. That's a good song, too. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago. And then there's ooh, Jamaica. No, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego. Wait, baby, why don't we go to the Kokomo? We'll get there faster if we take it slow. That's where we want to go. Way down at Kokomo. I want to sing that while wearing my Hawaiian shirt. That's right. There's a place called Kokomo. And then there's Surfing Bird. Gotta sing Surfing Bird. That's a good wedding song. Don't you know that the bird is a word? Everybody's talking about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is a word. I said a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a word. Don't you know that the bird is a word? That was on Apocalypse Now, wasn't it? All right, I want you to start surfing. During the battle, there was a fight. Yeah, some firefighting going on. We're going to go surfing, everybody. Bird, bird, bird. I'm fairly certain Saber parked in a handicapped parking spot. Why? Because she was fine written. She had fine written all over her. Did you park in a handicapped spot? Because you got fine written all over you. Oh, you devil. There are a few Casanovas out there, and I think you're a Casanova. Casanova. Oh, wow. You probably have no trouble picking up ladies. You're a heartbreaker. I've got a heartbreaker. Heartbreaker, dream maker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker, dream taker. Pat Benatar. Been a while since I've seen on here. Since you've been on here. I lonely love. Oh, sorry, I only. Damn you, dyslexia. Damn you to hell. Damn you, dyslexia. I'm almost out of green tea. That's what I should do before I start a live, have fresh green tea. My green tea comes in little packets. You empty the packet of powder. It's like a magical powder. Turns your water into green tea. I remember you. How old are you? It's always the youngsters. I can sense the energy. And they say, remember me? It's like I'm at a meet and greet. Or like I'm the next one. Or they're the next one to have me sign an autograph. I only love Saber. Make sure she doesn't put a saber into your heart. You got to be careful. Round and round, she put an arrow. I knew right from the start. She put an arrow through my heart. Remember that song by Rat? Round and round, what comes around goes around. No, I am a teenager. Okay. You still want me to remember you. Or you wonder if I do. She would never hurt you. Never, ever. You probably have a good eye. What do they call that? You have that sixth sense about the ladies. She would never hurt you. Oh, I guess she was asking you all those questions. Saber, you put an arrow through my heart. Round and round, what comes around. I had that album. That album was on a cassette way back when. We had to rewind. I would play that album a lot. Invasion of Your Privacy. I think that was the name of the album. Milton Berle was in that video. They played that video a lot. And then they played Oh Sherry. Oh Sherry, I'm in love. Hold on, hold on. They played that. It was on MTV, I think, and VH1. Oh my God. Oh my God. So tired of some songs. Another one was Here I Am, rock you like a hurricane. Early morning, the sun comes out. Ready out, or something like that. My kitty's purring, scratches my skin. So what is wrong with the night I was in? Night is calling, I have to go. Give her inches and feed her well. She has that disease where she wakes up and forgets, the past 10 years. I have to remind her we are married every single morning. Hey, we're married. That actually happens. That was in Morbid Facts. I guess this head injuries. Some people get struck by lightning or have injuries, and they get superpowers. This one guy became a mathematician. Or, no, music. There was two people. One person was a mathematician. One person was a musical genius after being struck by lightning. I'll have to save those videos. Morbid Facts. Morbid Facts. He could probably win a staring contest, that guy. Yep, Saber was in that episode of Morbid Facts. That was her. You have to keep remembering her. You have to keep reminding her of your relationship. Remind me why I married you. Wasn't it Chris Rock? He said, she has that look on your face because you know you weren't her first choice. You know you weren't her first choice. Yes. It's hard. It's hard just trying to... Well, some relationships are just a blessing. They unfold. They unfold like a fresh towel. Morbid Facts. Morbidly wholesome facts. Yeah. I can never resist clicking on one of those shorts. Because how morbid is this one going to be? How morbid. The guy falling into a hot spring, going after his dog. We need Eddie. That'll be the battle cry. That'll be on our banner. I can have a banner. We need Eddie. Do you really? When all is said and done, do you wait for me after work like a dog? Like a dog waits for his owner when he comes home, his tail's wagging. He's sitting at the door. Before the door even opens, the dog's all excited. The Life of Pets, Secret Life of Pets. Wasn't that a cartoon? They were showing all that. They say dogs have no concept of time. When you're gone, they think you're gone forever. They're so happy to see you. Cats, they could care less. They're like, come over here and pet me. Get over here and pet me, and maybe I'll let you. Maybe I'll let you pet me. If you're lucky. They're royalty. Cats are royalty. They don't have owners, they have staff. You just happen to be somebody they visit. Like with the cat that came here all the time. I was just one of the many. I was one of many. I thought I was special. That cat came to visit. Only me, I thought. But no, I was one of many. I definitely wait for you waving my appendage, but I don't think that's the same thing. You're a member. That's what they call it in Australia. They call it a member. My appendage. Don't wave your appendage. Put that away. I hope no kids are here. I wonder about that, because you can't really identify anybody. That's why I ask frequently, or, yeah, member berries. Oh. Today is Sunday. Does anybody have the Sunday Scaries? That was featured on Tim and Eric. Tim and Eric, I have the Sunday Scaries. What do I do about the Sunday Scaries? All that anxiety that comes from waking up and going to work on Monday, all the stuff we have to face. Customer service. Customer service. I really feel for people who have to do customer service all the time. It'd be nice if you could make people leave or not come in if they're a jerk or if they're just plain, rude. You say, sorry, you can't come in here. You'd be entered into a database if you're a rude person. LOL, that South Park episode, not a reference to anyone. Member berries. And then I remember fish sticks. Kanye. Yeah. So, yes, check out the Mr. Hanky, the history of Mr. Hanky. When you go into my shorts, they call them shorts, and I always feel a little weird saying that. Look into my shorts and see what I have. You might be surprised. You remember? You remember? Remember? People say that. Remember? I remember. Little kids say that. Remember? Remember we went to Disneyland yesterday? Remember we saw Mickey Mouse? I remember jokes about Mickey Mouse. Jokes about... I didn't say she was crazy. I said she was effing goofy. I didn't say she was crazy. I said she was effing goofy. Oh, yeah. Memories bring back memories. I have like a random access memory. Just, I'll be making a sandwich and I'll remember a joke from when I was in high school. I'm so lonely. That's right. Lonely, I said we are alone. I'm so lonely without Saber. That's pretty romantic, isn't it? A lady named Saber. Have her dress up like a Three Musketeer. Musketeers had rapiers, not sabers. They had the rapiers. Like Zorro. Zorro. The Mark of Zorro. I remember watching those. I think that was Disney too. The Mark of Zorro. He would use that Z. He would put a Z on your chest. Then there was Zorro, the Gay Blade. You ever seen that movie? They played that a lot when I was when I was young. Before high school, I think. That was entertainment. I miss going to the DVD store. First it was VHS. There was a place called Mike's Video Station in Portola. We'd go there and rent Day of the Dead and, watch Day of the Dead. We'd walk. He would rent the VCR. He would rent us the VCR and it came in a suitcase. The VCR and the videos we want to watch. I remember that. We would always get Day of the Dead so we could watch zombies eat people. And then I'd have nightmares about zombies walking down the street. Serves me right. It's like you like scary movies, they're going to show up in your dreams. The DVD store, yeah. That I used to have. A real place. Yeah. There was Blockbuster. There was Hollywood Video. There was also Sunrise or something like that. Yeah, in the mall, in the Sunrise Mall, there was a DVD store. It was a little store you walk into and there was just loaded with DVDs, box sets. I would always go in there and see what I could find. That's how I'd spend my money. After I paid all my bills, I would go to the DVD store. Or sometimes Hot Topic and buy just outlandish things. Sudden rise. That's what happens when I see Saber. Oh, behave. Oh, behave. So you just looked at her profile picture and fell in love. They say, so you're hit by Cupid's arrow. You fall in love. That's what you get when you fall in love. Why do birds sing so gay? Why do fools fall in love? Why do they fall in love? Wow, it's been an hour and 4 minutes. And just you and I. Or is it you and me? I can never figure that out. Is it you and I or you and me? My grammar is fading. Just like my hair. Some people lose all their hair at a very young age. They start out with hair and then they don't have it anymore. I wonder if it's a lack of a certain mineral or vitamin. There's a condition where people pluck their hairs. They pluck their hairs out of their own head. I saw a guy who was doing that in California. It's like, dude, there's some of your hair's missing. That's an actual thing. And then there's hoarding. Hoarding is ridiculous and it's horrifying. Hoarding is horrifying. When you go to open the door and the door is blocked by hoard, MRSA. So one lady had a cat. The cat had MRSA, or no, she had MRSA. And I'm pretty sure it came from her hoarding. She was not, yeah. You encounter a lot of those types in life. You'll probably encounter a hoarder. We lived on a military base. You didn't see any of that. I wish we would have just lived on a military base. Military base, not a lot of things were allowed on a military base. You couldn't hoard. You couldn't do drugs. You always saw the best in people on a military base. You might see a little drinking, but that's about it. Maybe wife beating. A lot of lonely housewives because dad was overseas for a year or so. My dad was sent overseas a couple of times. Okinawa. Okinawa. I think every Marine goes to Okinawa. You can always ask any Marine, have you been to, yeah, Okinawa. And then my niece, she was in the Air Force. She said Japan was a very nice place. The people there were nice. I think I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Nobody's here. I just got back from Vietnam and Thailand. Yeah. I sometimes see my demographic is in Vietnam. That'd be interesting to go there. Sometimes it rains like crazy. Forrest Gump wasn't lying about the rain. It came up from the ground. Sometimes it came up from the ground. We'd get sideways rain. Snakes. Just the things that are in the jungles there. I was only visiting, but I was really, yeah. The booby traps were mind-boggling. They were very inventive. They had to fight off the French before we showed up. They fought off the French. And then it's like, we should have asked the French, hey, why did you leave? Man, they're booby traps. Their booby traps are crazy. That's what Sun Tzu says. You got to know your enemy. Oh, my 8-year-old niece got bit by a monkey. Ow! Ow! Monkeys are quick. I like their facial expressions. You ever watch when they do magic tricks in front of a monkey? They're so... Monkeys! I have a short with a monkey playing with a cobra. The cobra was like just annoying the monkey. The monkey was just pushing the cobra out of the way. It was like they were buddies. Cobra! G.I. Joe. That's what it reminds me of. Cobra! Real American hero, G.I. Joe. How tall am I? I'm 6'2". People don't believe me until they meet me. They don't believe that because I'm sitting down. I'd have to have somebody stand next to me to show you how tall I am. Conan O'Brien is also pretty tall. Conan O'Brien, Tom Green, when I met him, he was as tall as I am. 6'2", 6 foot is about common height now. It's amazing. We're getting taller. I was watching this scale of celebrities, the height of different celebrities. As the years go by, celebrities got taller. I mean, all the way from like 3 foot, 4 foot, and then 6 foot. No, 5. Yeah, it would go on up. was like watching a when you look to see your signal. That's what it looked like. GI Joes vary in size. I've noticed. Back in the 70s, they were 12 inches tall. They had the Kung Fu grip and the Eagle Eye GI Joe. I keep talking about that. GI Joe, Eagle Eye GI Joe. He had a lever in the back of his head, and his eyes just went back and forth, like it was really confused. That's because they have their doctors stretch their bodies until they are satisfied with their height. Stretch. Put them on the rack. Yeah, like Uncle Fester. Just put them on the rack and just keep going. Click, click, click. What about now? Click, click, click. What about now? Oh, ah! The rack is no joke. They have so many, like, more horrible versions of the rack. Some of them has spikes on it. I went in Florida. They had a torture museum. Went to the torture museum in Florida, and it was just astounding. The punishments they had for certain offenses, them celebrities and their body modifications. I know, you could tell right away. When ladies start to hit certain ages, their faces stretch. It's always cheekbone. Their cheekbones get larger, and yeah. You ever seen Escape from L.A.? You ever watch that movie, Escape from L.A.? It was a sequel to Escape from New York. They were showing all those alterations they do to just to the face. Bruce Campbell was in that. He played the surgeon. Okay. Yeah, where is Saber? Where'd she go? Did you scare her away? Did you frighten Miss Muffet away? Along came a spider. Are you like Pepe Le Pew? Pepe Le Pew would always, he was so romantic, but the scent he gave off, that would chase the ladies away. I think maybe don't come on so strong. You have to kind of surprise a girl. You have to surprise her. Don't let her know you like her. Just listen to the things she likes. Find out as much as you can about her. Yeah, you got to kind of... I've known that. If you let a girl know you like her, then this mechanism, it's a defense mechanism that comes alive. Oh, there's a chase now. Being scared is one of the most primal sexual attractions, really. Most primal. That's interesting. You ever watched that Pickup Artist? There was a show. This guy called himself a pickup artist or something like that. He was teaching classes. He said, bring a boa. When you go to a nightclub, just bring a big feathered boa. And girls like to play with the feathered boa. That's one thing I remember out of all the tips he gave. Just walk in like Frankenfurter. You know, come into the nightclub dressed like Frankenfurter with a feather boa. There's something about guys dressing up like women. I remember in the 80s it was about putting eyeliner on. Girls like to see guys with makeup. Or I guess they like the similarity. But then some girls like sweat. They like to smell sweat on their man. Gladiator sweat, that used to be sold back in Roman times. They had these little things that looked like back scratchers that they would scoop off the gladiator sweat and they would sell it. Hey baby, want some gladiator sweat? Primal attractions. Girls like to be bossed around. They like a man who's in charge. I was told that by a lady one time. I like when you're in charge. Telling her what to do. Because then they feel like, oh, he's so masculine. But then they call it misogyny. Misogynistic. I'm over here with eyeliner and inside a sauna. Oh, a sauna. I have it. I have it all. Do you have rose petals? They should sell rose petals, like in a brown paper bag. If you like a lady, you just start sprinkling rose petals. Rose petals. And candles, little white candles. Like in that, the scene in Coneheads. Coneheads when Beldar's wife is on the couch. There's just a huge Mai Tai. Goes into the refrigerator to get his Mai Tai. Mr. Conehead, Mrs. Conehead. If I were your parental unit, I would apply sufficient pressure to your blood scholars to cause it to collapse. I find you unacceptable. Absolutely bon. Beldar Conehead was a French Canadian. Saber doesn't like roses. I have lilies. There we go. Lilies. Roses have a smell to them. I can never get enough of the smell of roses. Fresh roses. There was a lady I'd come to help. She was, I would help her, like, take out her trash, things like that. Wait for the delivery person to drop off her food supplies. And she had roses on her way up on the way up her ramp. There was a rose plant, and I would always sniff those roses. I could just sit there all day. Sometimes they run out of the smell, I think. If you keep smelling the rose too much, it goes, okay, that's enough. It runs out. But yeah. You can't duplicate that. I've seen them try to duplicate the smell of a rose. There's nothing like it. This has been fun. We're getting inside the mind of a lady. The mind of a lady. The ladies' man. I want to go out on a lake. That's what I want to do. A lake with some oars. And just have a lady in the boat with me with an umbrella. A white umbrella with some gloves on. We have some wine and cheese and crackers. And we're just rowing. I'm singing her songs while I row backwards. And she's just sitting there holding her umbrella. Yes, I have romance. I have romantic visions of romance. Her and I walking a dog together. The dog that's already gone to the bathroom. Dogs always seem to know the most embarrassing time to take a crap. You're talking to a hot lady and all of a sudden the dog starts straddling and bending, arching its body. Like, oh, now you're going to take a crap. Guten Tag, wie geht's? How are you? How are you? Danke, gut, und Ihnen? I wish I could speak a lot more German. I like speaking German. It sounds better in German. What time is it over there? Oh my God. Guten, lieben, Klaben, Globen. Remember that song? All right. I got something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away. Burning, burning, I got the fever. I'm not so sure they ain't no cure. Pyromania, that's the song. I was here last stream. You were. Welcome back. I'm your bartender for the evening. Sounds like an STD. Sexually transmitted diseases. Does anybody ever talk about those anymore? Sexually transmitted. Like you're a radio tower. Beep, 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 beep. I'm here to transmit diseases. Beep, 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 beep. High atop the Hilton building, I'm transmitting diseases. Yeah. My job is to transmit diseases. Beep, 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 beep. Like RKO, a big tower, just transmitting diseases. Oh, let's have fun, shall we? You were the Australian guy, like you're not Australian. I'm not Australian anymore. People say, because I say g'day, they think I'm Australian. They think I'm from down under. I wonder how my accent, would I be a convincing Aussie if I were to just show up at a pub? G'day, how are things? How do you like the rain now? All the crocs out there. One time I had to sit in a tree, wait for a croc to go. Those crocs will sit and wait for you. I think it was one of the Crocodile Dundee shows. I think it was the third one. I didn't know they made 3 of them. I remember 1 and 2. But then one of the episodes, this croc came after 2 different guys, and they had to sit up in a tree and hope the crocodile didn't eat them. That's a horrible day when you're looking down and there's a croc waiting for you, and there's not a helicopter in sight to just drop down a ladder so you can get the hell out of there. There was a story I heard about a Siberian tiger. This guy shot a Siberian tiger and took his kill. And the tiger followed him home and ate him. It was brutal. So they do seek vengeance. In this life or the next, I will have my vengeance. I am Maximus Meridius Tigre. I think it's time for my ravioli. I said I was going to have ravioli today. By the Dashboard Light. I love that song. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. That's Meatloaf. Every once in a while they'll play that song. I think it's on The River. There's The River, and then there's not The Zone. 99X. I think 99X has maybe played that song. That's a good song. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Just been listening. Yeah, do you want me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? I like that song. They got a baseball reference in there. He's winding up. Yeah. That's a really good song. Very well made. It was a duet. The chick singing was really good looking. She was a hot chick. If you watch the video, I recommend Paradise by the Dashboard Light. The video. Meatloaf is up there just singing his heart out. I was singing with you. Yeah? Do you really want me? Do you need me? We go through that sometimes. We're just trying to get some. But we have to go through all these. This courtship. It's a courtship. You have to court her. And hopefully you do everything right. Some people do everything right until they say, I do. And it all comes falling down. Everything dies at the altar. They do everything until you say, I do. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. That's what they say. There's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. So many have sexless marriages. That's what they call them. Yeah, it all dies at the altar. They say the best marriages are built on lies. The best marriages built on lies. Paying for the NPOF time. That's right. Oh, don't we all know? Don't we all know? We know what happens. Like Mae West said, I miss my husband, but my aim is getting better. There was one joke I heard. This guy said, I was pulled over and the cop said papers. And I said, scissors, I win. And he shot me 50 times or something like that. The cop pulled me over and said papers. I said, scissors, I win. And he shot me. What was that? Galifianakis. Zach Galifianakis was saying a cop pulled him over and he says, have you been drinking? And he says, yes, I've been drinking O'Doul's. And he said he gave me a ticket for being a Gaylord. He tells the joke better. I was pulled over by a cop and he said, have you been drinking? I said, yes, I've been drinking O'Doul's. And he gave me a ticket for being a Gaylord. Oh, it's the little things. The little things. Yeah. I love jokes. You know, some jokes I tell other people. I'm like contagious. Jokes are contagious. Yeah. Why did the boy fall into the well? Because he couldn't see that well. Those dad jokes. How do you get a Pikachu onto the bus? You Pokemon. Yeah. And then there's the dirty jokes, the real dirty jokes. I love jokes, yes, and music. I try to do the best of both. I try to do my best. Did somebody say more harmonica? We got all of 2 people watching. All of. I'm getting hungry, so I'm going to have to go. That's how I know I'm done, when I start to get hungry. How about some more Happy Trails? I'm glad these things are smooth. I couldn't imagine cutting my lip on a harmonica. These are very well done. This one is a Ridley's. It's a Ridley's. In exchange for this announcement. That's a horse racing song. Bet my bunny on the bobtail nag. I too love jokes and music. Well, I'm going to have to bid you adieu. Parting is such sweet sorrow, like Willy Wonka said. Oompa loompa doodalida. Okay, kids. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be past the Monday scaries.